Now it's time again to listen to some people from the outside of this Arctic region. And Alexia Diakaki from Northern Norway Tourism Board, she will lead us through a talk with tour operators from our prioritized markets, the DACH and the Benelux markets. So, how about the potential of the autumn season? And do we really need to reinvent the wheel again when it comes to cultural products, or could we just dig where we stand? I think that is some of the questions that soon we will have an answer to, if I know Alexia and the ladies right. So welcome up, ladies. Together with Alexia we have Emma Maes from Noorderhuis, Esther Baas from Cape Tracks, Janka Schelb from Norway ProTravel and Nordic Holidays. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Loud and clear? Yes? Welcome to our panel discussion on year-round development and culture in tourism. For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Alexia, as Johanna said, and I work for Northern Norway Tourist Board, and I'm the project manager from the Norwegian side. I'm originally half Greek and half Italian, so a healthy mix of good food and not so good economy. But I have been living in Northern Norway for the last 10 years, so I like to consider myself a local foreigner, or how I like to say, foreign local. This morning, Jan delivered an excellent presentation on the DACH and the Benelux markets. So today, I'm very happy and excited to have here with me on stage three very expert tour operators from these markets. We have Janka Schelb from Norway ProTravel and also Nordic Holidays. We have Esther Baas from Cape Tracks and also Emma Maes from Noorderhuis. Together, I would like to dig a little deeper in the topics we discussed today. And I think that this is a really good opportunity to begin a collaborative process, a collaborative discussion. So please listen closely to what these ladies have to tell us and be ready to share your questions with us so we can fully benefit from their experience and also from their presence here. They have traveled a long way to be here with us. Before we kick this off, ladies, I would like to hear a little bit from you so we can kick this off with a presentation. Emma, would you like to introduce yourself? And
yes, of course. I'm Emma, working for Noorderhuis. We are a Belgium-based tour operator focusing on countries in the high north. We offer Norway, Sweden, Finland, Canada, Alaska, Iceland, Greenland, Faroe Islands, and Svalbard. So that is what we do. And each of our colleagues is a specialist for his or her destination. So that means that we really dig deep in our destination, and we find it really important to find the perfect match between the programs we offer and the clients. So we value very much the personal approach. We talk with our clients and we really make sure that they go to the right suppliers. We offer both FIT, so individual trips and group trips, and we do a lot of tailor-made stuff too. So yeah, that's a bit what we do.
Thank you, Emma. Esther?
My name is Esther. I'm from Cape Tracks, formerly known as Noorderhuis and South Africa Reizen. We're two small companies, one of my parents and the other was from my uncle and aunt, and we merged during COVID. Cape Tracks is doing more or less the same as Noorderhuis is doing, but then in the Dutch market. But we made our tailor-made a standard. So our clients, they come to us, we know exactly where to send them to, and we tailor-made every trip ourselves, and it's a standard trip for us. For the clients, it's tailor-made. People traveling mainly in summer season with their own car. Sorry, I'm having a very bad cough. Summer season is our biggest season, traveling with own car, traveling around the 3 countries that you are representing here as well. And winter time we have the packages for Lapland, what everybody else is offering. So that's short what we are doing.
Great.
My name is Janka, and I work for Norway ProTravel and Nordic Holidays. These are two small tour operators located in Hamburg in the northern part of Germany. And Norway ProTravel, we are selling our trips via travel agencies and further tour operators. And Nordic Holidays is mainly an online tour operator, means that we are having mainly direct customers booking via our homepage, but we are selling trips through whole Scandinavia, mainly FIT and groups, and we are combining activities, car trips, combining all countries you are offering, and the rest trips we are selling are in the northern part of Scandinavia, and then we are combining Norway and Sweden and Finland, and that's quite good.
Great, thank you, all three of you. So this morning Nina mentioned that while of course our ultimate goal is to promote year-round tourism, we need to focus our efforts on a more targeted period in order to achieve, of course, best results. Based on the input from the participating companies and the DMOs, and of course from market indicators, we decided to focus on the lowest hanging fruit, which, we discussed about shoulder season, so we talked about autumn and sunny winter, but today we are here to talk a little bit more about the lowest hanging fruit, which seems to be autumn. So I wanted to ask you, you have been here with us this morning, you have been hearing the presentations, but also the conversations of the participating companies. What are your thoughts from your perspective when you hear all the discussion around autumn season? Is this something that you are already offering? And have you seen any new trends compared to previous seasons?
I will start.
Yes.
Well, we started selling autumn trips, I think 2 years ago, and we started with package tours, which makes it easier for us to book, means that we have selected partners offering accommodation and activities. As I said, it makes it easier for us to book. We could talk to our clients what they would like to have, and we can include some further activities they would like to have. But we recognized in the last year that lots of our customers are looking into our summer products, into our round trips, and taking that something like as a template for autumn trips. So I think there's a change, so it's a mix between our winter product and our summer products. Yeah, and we are at the same point than you are. We are trying to develop our products to bring this perfect time of the year to the customers.
Yeah, we see exactly the same thing as Janka is saying, is that we now, I think already 2 or 3 years, we are actively like marketing towards like pushing the summer holiday for people. For who is it's possible, of course, to push it towards autumn. Because it's such a nice season. I don't have to convince anyone in here that autumn is maybe the best season to travel to the Nordic regions. But we are really marketing towards that, like pushing it, but also like for small getaways. Like people with kids, for example, they have already their holiday in the main, like July, August, 2 weeks, and then maybe they want to go a bit further somewhere else with 2 of them, and that's like the week getaway that we also see a lot of more bookings in autumn. So that are like our main targets, concepts we are working with.
And Esther, the same for you?
Yeah, it's actually the same. It's extending the season for the summer. So then people are traveling 2 to 3 weeks, and then we have the shorter period that people have only a week to travel, a week to 10 days for the autumn season. Yeah.
Of course, so this would mean that also the traveling patterns are resembling more the summer products. So we are talking about more itinerant packages with more destinations.
Yeah, they're traveling around.
Yes, traveling around. And when it comes to activities, it would mean also maybe less pre-bookings and more spontaneous bookings along the way.
Yeah, that's a fact. The Dutch market especially, I think everybody knows that they are not willing to spend so much money on forehand. But when they are at the location, they are willing to spend money, but they just want to see how the weather is or what the surroundings are actually. And we can tell them a lot of things on forehand, but they always want to check out themselves on spot. So they normally, if you're looking for something with reindeers or with huskies, they're dropping in and see if you have something available for that day at that time. So that's a thing for autumn.
Yeah, but that's a huge difference on the German market, because our guests would like to book most that they can in advance, because they would like to know what we recommend them to do, and then they book it because we tell them to do that, and we do the packages for them how we would like to have it, and as the guests would like to have it. And I guess we do have not that many guests booking very much on spot.
Okay, yeah, that is very good to know the differences between the markets. That's perfect. And yesterday we were having a conversation here, and apparently there is a preconception that Lapland is a once-in-a-lifetime destination. And once guests have been here, once they have been to one of the destinations, then they are not likely to come back. So I wanted to hear from you, can you validate this? Can you confirm this? Well, I don't want to call it a theory, but this preconception. And do you think that we have any potential in upselling our seasons and our destinations?
For sure, they know in the Netherlands that it's not a once-in-a-lifetime destination. They are coming here in summer. Our clients actually are coming here in summer, and then they're coming back to experience Lapland in wintertime. So it's the other way around. And then after summer and winter, they're coming back to see how the autumn is. So for us, it's really not a once-in-a-lifetime destination.
No worries.
I see both of you nodding, so it's really good that you're on the same page.
Or it's the other way around, like people first do like the classic Lapland winter holiday, and then they're like, oh my god, there's so much to see and there's so much more, and then they come back and they say, okay, we really want to go back for summer, and then, or like late spring, summer and autumn. And I think after that it's 50-50. 50% is like, okay, it was a once in a lifetime, we have done like the highlights, we've seen what we wanted to see. And then the other half is like, whoa, this is such a beautiful destination. I really want to like experience more, go more in depth. Also, most of the times travel slower, so stay more nights, because they really want to dig deeper into the destination.
And this of course shows that also as tour operators you have a tight dialogue with your clients, and actually you can help them find their next step and their next adventure. That maybe they can give you some feedback, what they liked, what they didn't like so much, and then you can tailor it accordingly. This is really good to hear. And actually this morning we heard from Jan in his presentation about Indian summer. He mentioned also Ruska, and we know that especially Finland has been doing a fantastic job in promoting the double auroras. How do you promote the autumn season nowadays? Of course, what kind of concept, what kind of language are you using? Of course, you mentioned that they want to extend the summer holidays, and it's pretty much the same itineraries. But when it comes to your efforts to really promote autumn and dig deeper there?
Well, as I said in the beginning, we started creating special packages for the autumn time. And regarding with that, we created a special landing page on our websites and doing, well, I said the normal stuff like newsletters. But what is quite important for us, because we are working together with travel agencies, is that we are training the employees in the travel agencies, meaning that we are doing, for example, webinars to reach them and to try to explain what they are selling. And that's one of the work we are doing next to talking to our clients.
Mm-hmm.
And next to that, what we also have seen that has worked for autumn is like images. It's like moving images, still images that you just have like the see what it's like, because for Belgium, I don't know if it's the same for the Netherlands and Germany, is that autumn is not considered like a traveling period, not to like any destination at all, and just showing what you have here and that people can see it, that's really important. So good images, good quality images, that's something really that helps.
And what helps for us as well is explaining that the autumn is like the quiet season. Because, for example, Lofoten is so demanding with so many people traveling there in summertime. And now the early season, like the spring season, is as well booming business there. So if you explain them that the autumn season is more quiet and that there are less people there, that they enjoy the nature with less people, they are really going for that. So then they are willing to change actually their holiday from middle of August to middle of September, because they know it's more quiet in the areas. So that helps a lot as well. So we help them with deciding which period is good to go. And if you then explain them as well that like from beginning of September you can see maybe Northern Lights, double aurora, then they change their timetable and they go middle of September.
Of course. And this brings me actually to another question that I had for you. What is the key strength of our area in autumn season? And of course we have the aurora. You mentioned the quietness. I don't know, would you like to add something else? What we really need to highlight here?
but I think it's the Sami culture. I know it's not just during the autumn time, but what we recognize is every excursion you're offering with the topic of the Sami culture, that works really, really good, because especially the Germans are interested in this part of the Scandinavian culture. So that works quite good, but one of the USPs we are having and you are having are the Northern Lights. But I think together we could work out maybe some more USPs, which makes it easier for us to sell the products during that time, except the Northern Lights and things like that.
Yeah, and it's the colors, so of course the colors of the nature. And what works for our clients at least is the fact that they can be really active, being outdoors with quite okay weather.
Yeah.
It's not that cold, you can still go outside and go hiking or biking in okay weather, and they know how to dress with a rain jacket, so that's no problem.
Yeah.
But they can still go outside and enjoy the quite okay temperatures as well.
Yeah, and besides Aurora, it's sometimes even an advantage that like it gets dark again.
Yeah.
For people that are not used to sleeping with daylight 24/7, it's also
Absolutely, and you can even have a sunset together with the Aurora.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing too. So thank you for your insights. And now that we have set the stage, as I promised before, I'd like to invite you, actually in the audience, to join the conversation. We are not here to talk alone. And I think that this is a great opportunity to ask the questions related to this topic before we start discussing the next two topics. So we have parts of our team. We have here Johanna, Marika and Maiku that are going to help with the microphones. So please don't be shy. We have some time for questions. A question or even a comment if you would like. It's a little bit dark, so I don't see hands. Maybe the team can help. Very quiet in the audience. I think you shared all your insights during the workshops these days. Nobody would like to take the chance. Okay, but then I have another question for. Yes, we have one. Okay. Please tell us your name because it's a little bit dark and we cannot see who you are.
I'm here in the dark. So my name is Turo Tovar. I come from Finland, Posio, Lapland. So 300 kilometers from here. So because they want to do the activities, so what would be the top activities for your customers in the autumn time?
Well, for the German market, it's absolutely looking for the Northern Lights. And if you combine such an evening with sitting at the bonfire and doing some storytelling around that, and maybe having some light dinner there, that would be a perfect evening, which sounds really, really good.
or soft adventure activities too. So biking, hiking, kayaking, canoeing, things like that. Yeah.
A little bit more active then.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and explaining more about the Northern Lights would be as well during the bonfire dinner. Let them know more about the Northern Lights and how it's working. That's soft adventure for sure.
Yeah. So storytelling also.
Yeah.
There was
Absolutely.
a lot of discussions on storytelling today, so we need to add a little bit more of that. Are you happy with the reply? Yes. Perfect. Anybody else? No, great. Okay. But then a little bit briefly here, I want to stay on topic. What about the challenges that you are facing these days? Is this something that makes the process of promoting autumn a little bit slower, or any thoughts?
I think
Yeah.
for us, the feedback that we honestly got is that they are amazed with the nature and like everything they can do, but it's just like in a travel documents, they say, you can go to this cafe, but it's a summer cafe, or you can go this and that, but a lot of things are closed already, like middle of August or in September, and that's sometimes for people like, we saw this, no, we saw it, no, no, and yeah, if the opening hours of like smaller cafes, smaller museums could be extended, that would also make it easier for us to like extend the summer season too.
So availability definitely. It's one thing.
As well for activities.
Yeah.
So you don't need to have 6 departures a day for dog sledding, but if people are dropping in, make sure that there's somebody there to show them the dog yard, for example. That's more than enough.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for. So, and challenges is that the autumn season, if they're traveling, it is an extra holiday. They don't have so much money to spend as they are having to spend for a winter holiday with the family when they're doing all the activities. So the price has to be okay, as well for activities. So make sure that you are pricing the autumn in another way than you're doing it for winter, because it is an off season, and of course you want to have your hotels filled up and you want to have people doing activities, but the price needs to be good as well for this period.
And another point could be, if we're talking about excursions, it doesn't make any sense for us if the departures are not guaranteed. As I said, we don't need to have it 6 times a day, but we need to have it at least 3 times a week or 4 times a week, because if I'm looking at our customers, they are used to start their trip at any day, so we don't have fixed departure days. They could start on a Monday, on a Tuesday, means that we have to plan the tailor-made trip, and we can't look into every and each excursion on which day they could do it on that place or on that place. So make sure that maybe don't offer too much different excursions, but these things you are offering, do it in a good structure and in a frequent way. So that makes it easier for us to prepare packages and to sell it. Yeah.
Those are very good thoughts, and I think we all need this feedback to proceed with the development.
Yeah, and it's quite annoying for the people if we are booking them and if the tour is not guaranteed, and they're just the 2 people from us would like to have that excursions, and we need to inform them half a week before they're traveling that the excursion is cancelled because of 2 less people. So that's really a problem for us, and it doesn't make a good sign to the clients from all of us.
Yeah, and if there is, like, product-wise, something you are missing, you would say that you are missing during autumn? Since we are discussing a lot of product development, and of course now we're going to start diving deep into our next topic, which is culture and tourism. But before we go deeper into that topic, from the top of your head, something that you would really wish to have. You can even say whales. I mean, they're not going to come earlier, but something in your wish list a little bit earlier from the winter season or prolonging the summer one.
But I think the accommodation we have, that is really, really good. And if I'm talking to my sales team, they love to sell all the accommodation you are offering. And if it comes to activities, I think it's really good what we have, and we don't have to create really new ones. I think we just have to focus on some activities and develop them a little bit. Maybe, I think I've been in the discussions before, and there were so many good ideas to add some more value to existing products, and I think that's the way we should work on.
Yeah, that's really good. Really great to hear. So we are doing something very well as well. So, of course, having discussed the potential season, I would like now to introduce properly the next topic, which is equally interesting and intriguing, and it is culture in tourism. We have had some really good discussions today during the workshops, and of course we know that cultural experiences can help enrich travel, and they can help create deeper connections between the guests and a destination. And I feel, this is a personal opinion, that this way they're going to wish to come back as well. So I would like to discuss as well, how can culture play an important role when it comes to our product development strategy. And I think that Janka, you already said it very well. Sometimes we don't need to reinvent the wheel and go completely ballistic with crazy new ideas, but we can just tweak a little bit the products that we have to add some more value to that. But what are your thoughts when you're thinking culture in tourism? Is this something that we can consider a USP here in our areas?
I think for the Dutch market, it is an add-on, but it's not the main reason why people are traveling to these destinations. Because the main reason why they are traveling is the nature, and they of course want to experience some cultural things, but it's not the main reason. So it is a nice add-on, and I think that all the things that have been talked about today, and I think Jan as well started to talk about, like having a rental car and driving around and then go to your cultural things. That's as well helping a lot, because the Dutch people are not going to spend a week at the same location in autumn. They still want to travel around, or by own car or by rental car, and then they want to visit those specific small beautiful locations where they can learn more. We were talking about the school visit. They go crazy about what do the local people do, and a school visit is really easy, but see how the education system is working here could be an idea. It's not that it's a USP, but it's an add-on. They want to learn how the locals are living and how they are behaving. So that's a thing that they are more into. So don't reinvent the wheel, just use what you're having here already.
Yeah, some things that maybe seem for you like so mundane and so like everyday life may seem for us like very unique. So you don't really have to look that far to give the activities that you do, the accommodations that you have, like maybe an extra flavor or an extra layer, and that just adds up so much to like the whole experience of travelers these days. It's maybe like a fashion word, but people don't want to be tourists, they want to be travelers. And that is true. I am guilty of it myself. So I can relate a bit, but if you feel like you act like the locals do and you go to the supermarket and want to see what is it here, and you cook like local meals, or you can join a cooking class and then recreate it in your cabin or stuff like that, it's really doesn't have to be like mega
a new product.
Yeah, great.
But because the supermarket visit, you mention it, it's very something, people are talking about it in the Netherlands always. How is the supermarket in that country? What can we expect? What is really local? What do we need to buy when we are there? And they're talking about candy, the meat, the fish, what they're having in the supermarket. So that's as well a cultural experience. They want to experience the supermarket, and it's really easy, and you don't need a guide for that, so it's hard to build a product about that, but it's something that the people are really interested in, just how the locals are living and behaving.
Yeah, I heard once, it was in Helgeland region in Norway, that there was someone that had like a cart with a horse, like from way back, farmers use, and they put people in the cart and they were just driving around with a horse, and people just loved it because it was just a way to show them how people back in the day did farming, because it was so important for that specific region. And yeah, it was such a simple product, but it was just like something specifically from there that you couldn't like experience anywhere. Maybe it's a bit of a simple example, but you don't really have to look that far. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say.
I think you can summarize it under live like a local. Meet the locals, and I mentioned it before, do storytelling on the small things. So I think they're not interested in having the figures and numbers of Norway or Sweden and the differences between the cities, but they would like to know how you live and how you do it, and the difference between the summer and the winter, and how does it feel like if it's the whole day, if it's dark. So these are the small things which are cultural things, and if we are able to include that into our products, I think we are creating memorable things, and that's much more important than creating new things, because that's why the people are coming to our countries. The nature and the culture we are offering, and the way how we are living here.
Yeah, like Vika, it's for everybody here well known, but the people in the Netherlands have got no clue, and they're coming back like, what was Vika? Because they had no clue what Vika is. They were invited into a home to enjoy Vika the way you are having it, or in the hotels, they put a sign, Vika, at a certain timing, and then you can have the Vika, but they have got no clue what it is. So such a small thing could help already to be local, live like a local. Yeah.
It's really interesting, and basically what you're saying, what I'm understanding, it's really the simple things, the simple way of life. I have the same experience from guiding myself, and especially with tourist guests. I feel that when they come from Germany, they know all the facts. They will know how high a mountain is. They have done the research, they have done the homework. But of course, living the life themselves and bringing back this memory home is the most important part. So of course, culture is meeting the people, and you have said living like a local. And how do you think that we should try or aim to involve the local community, so that when guests are coming here, they're not only meeting, the hotel receptionist or a guide that in some cases might even be a foreigner like myself? How could we start a conversation? I really like that you said the fika, because for me, as a traveler, I would really love to sit down with some older ladies, and they can teach me how to knit, something that I never thought of doing, but here it's very popular. Could this be a product, or how can we start, including the locals in this conversation, so that we start mitigating a little bit the gap between tourism and the locals? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I had an experience in February because I had been on a small fan trip, and we visited the Brandon Lodge, and we were invited that evening to have a bonfire and at dinner at the fire. We were just sitting, the two of us, in the small cabin. It was such a great evening. That was really perfect, and these are activities what I would love to start to our people, because I told my husband, my family, all my friends about that evening, because it was so great, and I think it was easy to do. Okay, there was a guide, and he was preparing the food for us, but he showed so many great things about his life as a guide, and that was great. That was really, as I said, it was a nice experience, and I'm still talking about that. So if we are thinking about products like that, I think, that's perfect.
Yeah, and if you want to include the locals as well, in Greenland they have something like that I was there, and they had 6 houses where you were invited in. People could buy a ticket with a color, and you were just walking around in a city and you saw the right house with the color, and you were invited in just for a cup of tea with a cookie. And I was sitting there with a lovely woman, and she had 3 children walking around, and they wanted to play soccer with us outside. And then after the tea we went outside and we played soccer with the kids. It was an experience that I'm still talking about, and it is so easy. You just need to find the right families who are willing to open up their homes. But that is something that it's quite easy to create, I think. And then you really meet the locals. And I think there are a lot of locals that are really interested in doing something like that once a week or maybe once a month. If you have enough people who are willing to open up their homes, then you can create a simple product out of nothing.
Yeah. And you have the right customers for that as well.
Yeah.
That would definitely be interested in this. So we need to be opening our homes then, and we have a new product.
Yeah, but just don't look that far away from products. They are around the corner.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Okay, shall we try this one more time? Let's see, we have there, I see Michael is already ready. Do we have some questions? Yes. Someone is raising the hands.
Thank you. I was a little bit shy quarter ago, but now I have listened to you. I'm a businessman. I have my own family company in Finnmark County, and the summer seasons for us will start at 7 o'clock. We will have a company visiting us. We have our riverboats, we have our labo. And that have we done for 2 decades. But last autumn we had a scout school 85 kilometers downstream the Tana River. So this winter I have been wondering, is it possible to take tourists, bring them for a riverboat safari with activities, overnight stays, for instance, in Lavo, and the day trips might be 2.5 hours in boat. I know it's only chairs, stolar, made by wood, but we have reindeer fur, so it's easier to sit. My question is, while I have been listening to you, I think this is an opportunity. You mentioned this Aurora borealis, fishing, we have berries in the autumn, things like that, activities, and also there are tracks, paths, we can have a walk into the mountain terrain to have a view over the river valley. So I think I you have confirmed that this will be a possibility for our family company to bring tourists for that kind of river safari. So thank you.
So this was not really a question, but more maybe seeking confirmation and validation. Can we?
Yeah, and I think if you then call it like a day, spending a day with your family, that helps a lot. Instead of like we're going on a fishing safari with a boat with the Sami people. But if you call it a day with the family, then it's feeling more personal. And Jan was saying as well, people are willing to spend money if the product is good enough. So if you are marketed in the right way, then and tell the tour operators how to sell it, then I think it could be a product.
So of course again communication.
Yeah.
And
communication.
Maybe something small I was just like thinking about is also what always helps is like if people can make something themselves, not only food, but like for example, if you do the trip and you can like make, in the meantime you stop and have lunch and maybe carve something out of wood and then that they can take with them back home, that would also be like, yeah, those things I had as a kid. I even have like on my closet things lying from our trips with my parents to Norway and Sweden that we made ourselves during activities that we did, and they give such a profound memory and you don't forget it. So it's not really always that big.
I think this is a really good example of how we can continue the conversation also during dinner. And I'm very happy to say actually that Janka, Esther and Emma are going to stay with us for dinner. And they're actually very eager to be involved in your conversations. So don't think that you're bothering them, that your ideas are not interesting, just whatever it is, feel free to approach them. They have been asking for that themselves today. So don't be shy once again. But before we go to the next topic, do we have any questions? I see.
Alexia, we have a question here.
Perfect. And could we hear the name, because it's very dark up there?
Hello, Laura Hokajärvi from Discover Muonio, just round the corner, 60-70 kilometers from here. It's a local DMO with 65 members. I want to talk about just a short thing about sustainability, which is of course related to the year-round and cultural tourism. We heard today that if you're not sustainable, you're out. So what are your thoughts on this one? How much your clients, your customers are asking about sustainability on companies and DMOs and the areas which they are traveling into? And do you prefer sustainable companies or areas over not certified companies or not with like a label? So this is something that we are very eager to hear about from tour operators, travel agents. Thank you.
This is a very good question.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's not just one question, there are several questions. Maybe from our customers' point of view, right away I have a feeling that they would like to talk that they did something sustainable during their vacations, but so far they're not willing to pay for that. But I think it's changing during the years, and if I look into our products, we are trying to do more sustainable products. We are trying to use public transportation, for example, or trying to use more